Yo, what's up guys? Etheria restart video, and yes, I'm still playing this game, definitely still enjoying this game, and this game is actually made so much more chill to play right now. So I'm gonna go through all of those things that make this game a lot more chill to play, and then going into some new content as well to showcase what this big update is all about. So first of all, you're definitely familiar with this game when you're doing shell farming, but you always had that one issue. It's like, oh, shell farming, I get this one thing, but not really the exact right one. So for example, you want to get this one, but you don't want to get strife. You want to get a bulwark in there, but you have a lot of difficulties finding that exact one. Well, there's a very specific item right now with respec, and respec you can change exactly into bulwark for just one of those pieces, which is super chill to do. I did do that already for one of my pieces over here. I think it was this one over here. So it was a really good rolled one on all of those, but it was just missing that one bulwark. But now it's just so simple. It's like, yo, hey, just add in that one bulwark. Might ask, say, where do you get this item? Well, there's a bunch of places. Probably they will add more places to buy those. But for now, the easiest place to get them is going to be the Summit Arena, and you can buy them right over here. It is a one-time buy. It is a pretty expensive one, but there definitely will be adding more places to add these. And definitely do use that for the one really key piece that you have been missing out for so long. Also, a bunch of other content, which was a little bit more annoying for people to do, or at least more time-consuming, has been made a lot easier right now. If you haven't played in a while, Amber Track normal, you can clear all the way from level 1 to 41 with one click of a button. You only have to do the level 42. But now also in hard, you can actually skip all of the stages where you normally had to run around by just pressing auto, and that's as simple as it is. You do have to clear it once before, but after you clear it one time, you can skip all of those. You still have to do like the main bosses and those side bosses, but that is just the battle itself. You don't have to do the active running around, which personally, I did not mind to do that much on PC, but on the phone, it was kind of annoying. So while traveling, I definitely do really enjoy it. I might just say, it's like, say, why do you sound like a little bit of an echo? I'm still traveling, that's why. Ethernet Rally, I did already finish mine, is actually even way better. You can do auto raids right now. And what does auto raid mean? It's going to be cleaning up all of the nodes except for the bosses as well. So the only stage you have to do are the stages with like the Rahul, the Sharon, the Whitney, all of those kind of things over there. But anything else, you just immediately auto and just very simply clear with the one push of the button, and that's super chill. Also, before, you remember Phantom Theater was always a little bit annoying because you had to go through the whole stage of all of this before you could actually do that, or you were just being one of those people going in and leaving right away and then get your rewards that way. But if you both did that, neither of you were getting your rewards. Well, that's actually made a lot easier right now as well, and I highly recommend to do this. Just put full damage teams on every side. So in this case, sure, there's a Sanyan there, but I would recommend going as much damage as possible, because all you want to do right now is just hit the 1,000 mark. The moment you hit the 1,000 mark, you will get a button over here that you see in just a second. So we're pretty close on that 1,000 mark, just a few more hits. Ray Mary is about to move. Ray Mary probably does get, okay, we have to jump over here. Let's slow it down a little bit. Ray Mary with the damage coming in. Nope, I'm actually stunned. And then we press OK. And if you both press OK, you immediately are done with it. And now it takes a lot less time than it used to take with just going all the way back and forth and waiting it all the way to the end. So super chill on that one. Also, for the Infinity Train, it is now possible to set it on auto cards, so it will keep auto selecting cards. Personally, I still like to choose my own cards, but for some people that just says like, hey, I don't have to clear the whole thing, it will be chill to just say, it's like, let's do some auto cards and just make it work from there. So outside of those quality of life changes, there's also a whole bunch of things added to the shop. If you aren't familiar with it yet, you can also reroll stats right now on the Prism dice and the Synchron dice, which is really nice for your modules. And there's just in general a lot more things added to the shop. High recommendation that I can do is try to use your Prism dice on a very specific piece that you're normally not farming. Where are you going to get those? Exactly over here. So what is my example for that? I do not really farm that much Aurora because I'm just a Doki Doki mate. Simple as that. But that does also mean that I still need a bunch of those Swift Smites with an accuracy and then high speed. So what I can do with this is actually alter them and actually do the transforming over here. Keep in mind, you always do want to roll this on a 4 substat, because if you do it on a 3 substat, the highest you can get is also 3 extra rolls in that. So therefore I have to get more pieces of 4 substats without actually farming Aurora. So the main way that I do that is going into the shop over here and just checking every day. Is like, hey, is there something in there? You don't get too much of these materials, so definitely always use it on the perfect pieces. So these are the main quality of life updates that I wanted to recommend to you guys. But let's actually look at the real patch. The Rem Tiara Season 2. One of the best things for me is actually having an active calendar right now of what update is to come where. Especially with like knowing when Blessing Galores are coming, all of that kind of good stuff. You know exactly what's coming. You know the rerun on the banners. You know everything that's coming, new animuses, which animuses and everything around there. definitely highly recommended to check out this event page and then the event calendar. If you're wondering where can you find it in game, you go to the new season preview, you enter now, and then you will go to this page. Also right now, you might have already seen it, I'm stacking a lot of stability. I preferably start off the Blessing Galore with as much stability as possible, so I have still all of the mental stabilizers. But I do also like to get to a maximum amount of stability, but just like the normal crystal refresh and anything you do in the game, the moment that the Blessing Galore happens, and then on the Blessing Galore, I go really hard. Hence also my result for getting as many speed pieces as I have right now, because the speed line goes on and on and on. And that is just good planning. That's not whaling. That is good planning right there for you, sir. And you can do that as well. And of course, you might need a little bit of luck. However, while saving your stability, might you ask, are you still doing all of the daily quests? Yes, I actually am. I do this with 5. I do this one. I do that one. And I do these. These are all together. So that's the modules, the shells, the EXP, and the arena will give you the 12 exactly. So you don't have to go into any investigation, threshold, GP outpost, or anything that costs you any stability. You don't even have to go for summons. But you have to keep in some modules and some shells that you want to up, so don't up everything in one day. Kind of spread it out. They also have the Summit Ares in Season 2 starting right away, so definitely do get into the game. Start playing this one because there's a lot of good rewards. Maybe you're not familiar with the Summit Pass just yet, but there's a lot of rewards getting in here as well to get like multiple skins, multiple things for upgrades. Definitely a really nice addition to the game, which was added a few patches earlier. Plus, of course, there's the coupon code. Do claim that in. We do also have a few new animuses in the game. We got Lowen, we got Santik, Palin, Senyu, and later it's going to be released over here, which is already sitting over there. And we can also already see it over here when it's going to be released, which is going to be another LD unit. So definitely do save your LD tickets for that one. Lowen is the new Dark SSR defense scaling unit. Lots of damage coming in, lots of taunts, lots of extra damage stacking on top of extra damage. If you're liking the Bruiser style, this is definitely a unit you do want to pick up. It's absolutely very goated. Something is a bit of a different unit, can be used in PvE, but also can be used in PvP. It's one of those units that amplifies your other characters to deal a lot more damage. So it will go for cleansing your allies, but then also increasing the crit rate and the crit damage on your allies, plus also decreasing the cooldowns of your enemies and lowering their accuracy and their crit rate. Definitely a strong unit for locking down your enemy. What Palin and Senyu are going to do exactly isn't fully announced yet, but we're going to see those very soon. So definitely do save your tickets if you already have the other units. Don't go for maximum duplicates right away. First, do check what is coming up. Another really nice system that they added into the game is making a awakening for your SR units. So your SR units are going to become even stronger. That you can do in the Awakening Ordeal. I think a lot of people will go for Sainia because she's the main core bruiser for a lot of people. But I like to play CC style myself, so I went for the RC77. And I've been rocking this as much as possible on the highest grade as possible. It's definitely recommended to just check what other people are using. This dungeon is a little bit more difficult because he will outspeed you. And if you're not on full bulwark, this team will be definitely a little bit more difficult. But if you're full bulwark, it's absolutely not that difficult and it's very doable. Over here, you can actually see what all of those skills are going to be added. But let me first look at what kind of steps you have to get through to actually get those awakenings in. This is the awakening process that you see over here. And every step you do get like a little bits of pieces of like base HP, base defense into defense percentage, extra attack into 3 extra base speed. That makes a RC77 at 131 base speed. That is a lot right there. And then we're going to go into all of the others. But just besides getting all of those base stats, you're also getting skill changes, which is a lot more interesting. You see them here on the screen right now. We're getting a new passive that if your enemy is purifying debuffs, you will actually do more damage on them. That is super strong. So I'm very curious to see how that will work out. Turn dot becomes a extra buffer. So definitely one of those PvE units. If you're focusing hard on the PvE events, turn dot is definitely the unit you want to go for. Or if you're bruisering, then Sainia is going to be so strong, purifying all debuffs on your target. That's just incredibly strong. So I definitely do think she's going to be a menace in PvP. But then again, I think in the right comp, RC77 might be really good as well. But then again, Turandot is also crazy good in PvE. And they're going to be adding new animus to this every season. So every 2 to 3 months, there's going to be new SR units in the Awakening. However, I must say, awakening a unit from 0 all the way to full will take you a good bit of time, so don't expect this to be done with it within a few days. They also have the shells getting a upgrade. You can actually drop all of those shells as a special item, and then they get extra looks. These really look dope. Like, you are familiar with your normal shell and the normal look, but this is like a special drop. It does not take away any of the other drops, but it is just a special drop of just having a little bit of a different view of your... Of course, there's also going to be new events, and the next event that is coming, which is going to be starting very soon from the release of this video, will actually give you one of those items to change one of the module sets on your shell. So you definitely do not want to miss out on that one. Those are always super nice. Plus, there's also something else. You also now have the shell attune, and the shell attune is the following. You can actually select exactly what you want over here. You do need those boxes for it. Maybe I'm sitting a little bit in front of it, but you need a special item for that, which you also do get from that event. And they can simply select like, hey, I want to roll my speed from 16 to 20 straight up. So it's still going to be a low roll or a high roll on that, but it makes it a lot easier to get those perfect stats without having to reroll for this like consecutively. Also, a thing that makes things a little bit easier right now, if you haven't played for a while, you can say that we just keep rolling until it hits a mythic, and then you actually stop, rather than you have to be looking at all of the blues right there, which just makes things a little bit more easy and user-friendly. Of course, we also have EWS 2025 World Summit Arena Global Finals coming up with a grand prize pool sitting over here. Plus, that's actually really cool. The champion can co-create an animus outfit. So we have seen it from the previous season. Maybe I've missed out on that one already because the season did end. That you have a different skin for Lily right now, which will also change her skills by a slight bit. If you are the champion, you are allowed to choose and give inputs to what the skin should look like for any of those particular animus that you would like to see have a special skin in the near future. Plus, of course, the prize pool money is definitely not bad. Plus, it will also be an offline event once again in Shanghai, China, which will also have a mixture of the new servers added with the old servers in RTA. So definitely curious to see, are the old servers better, or are the new servers actually cooking up something real strong? You can sign up for that with the event page right here. If you go to the sign up, you will end up over here. So if you're feeling strong in your RTA gameplay, definitely do sign up. As mentioned, also a whole bunch of quality of life updates that you see here on the screen, but also a bunch that they mentioned are coming soon, such as combat statistics. I really love myself some statistics. Which unit did the most damage? Which unit did the most healing? How hard did the unit hit? How many times was it CC'd? Any of those kind of good things. It is coming. Also, templates for module recycling, just making it faster to recycle your things and keep on with your farming that way. And they're actually looking at a whole bunch of good quality of life updates. So with all of that combined, this game is super chill to play right now. It's so much easier to get the rewards that you're aiming for. And then you can actually dive into the RTA because that's where the action is happening, or GVG, or your normal arena, or any kind of PvP that you do like to aim for. Plus, what's actually also kind of fun right now, there's a lot of events that are more carried by PvE as well. The Nether Carry was an event that was held prior, and that one was really cool. Every 2 days, you switch to a different boss with different mechanics and also different teams that you have to use. And therefore, if you focus really hard on PvE, you focus on the Turandot, like I definitely do think people that will focus on the Turandot are absolutely going to smash the Nether Carry, and it gives really good rewards. So it also becomes a lot more cool for PvE players to play this game and actually focus on these kind of events. So that's all for me for today, guys. Definitely do check the link of Etheria Restart in the description down below. It also does help out my channel, and see you as always in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab for the guide video archive, which contains all of the guides that you might need. Hope to see you there.